This is The Bottom Line. The Bottom Line on 938 Live.
Now, factory activity in China unexpectedly picked up this month. The Flash Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index, or PMI, for China by HSBC rose to 50.5 in September from August's reading of 50.2. A reading above the 50 level indicates an expansion. But with the Chinese government planning to pump $81 billion into the 5 biggest banks in China, could manufacturing activity pick up even further? We now have on the line with us Kai Zhang, an analyst based in China with the Economist Intelligence Unit, for his analysis. Now, Kai Zhang, factory activity climbed in September compared to the earlier month. What's the reason behind that?
Well, this headline number of 50.5 flash PMI shows a modest expansionary trend than the 50.2 released last month, of course. But I'd like to point out that because there might still be further survey replies coming back, so the actual PMI later announced by the end of the month could be slightly different from this flash PMI. And this 50.5 number is still quite close to the neutral level of 50, indicating that a weak confidence from the market sentiment. This also reflects the fact that in the past several months, China's manufacturing sector has been weaker than expected. The reason is probably because the risk within the property sector is gaining traction and its impact on the manufacturing side is mounting up. So if the property risk continues to accumulate, it could eventually slow down the investment and even the whole economy. But this is what the Chinese central government wants it to be. So they've been sending out policy messages in the past few months that they want a more sustainable and stable growth. And they will do what's necessary to keep the economy steady.
Okay, but China at the same time is planning to inject 100 billion yuan or over $16 billion into each of the top 5 banks in the country. Will that help manufacturing?
Well, overall, this 500 billion yuan injection package would not help the manufacturing sector that much substantially. The figures may seem huge, but it's not such a dramatic stimulus package per se. The size partly reflects the increasing volume of the overall Chinese banking sector. It is growing bigger and bigger. And also the central bank tends to inject liquidity every time before major holidays. So when the need for cash in the holidays jumps up. So now before the national holidays Golden Week, it is reasonable to see this liquidity provided. But however, the size of the injection is still a little bit larger than euro, which means that it does have a stimulus component within it. Another factor to consider is actually this injection is in the form of SLF, which means standing lending facility, and it only lasts for 3 months. So the liquidity would mainly go to the monetary and treasury bond market, not so much in terms of loans for industrial activities and for manufacturing. And furthermore, the top issue faced by the Chinese economy is still the manufacturing overcapacity. So the manufacturing capacity and output is still well beyond the actual demand of the market and the economy. So unless people see more signs of confidence and the increasing expenditure and demand, there would not be substantial benefit from the manufacturing sector.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Kai Zhang, an analyst based in China with the Economist Intelligence Unit on The Bottom Line. And The Bottom Line is brought to you by the Turkish Airlines, Europe's best airline.